I really hate it when people reach out to me and assume that I smoke crystal meth. It's like I got a full set of teeth. Is it the skinny face, the tiny head, the neck tattoo? Seems like I come off looking more like a Nazi, but all right. I couldn't be a Nazi. I'm leaning more towards Jew because I like to store a lot of my hidden money in DVD cases around my house. But I always do it cleverly in case I forget where I put it at. Where did I store that $100 bill? Okay, that's a Benjamin Franklin. Last name Franklin. That can be shortened down to Frank, which ties into Anne Frank. I think she was a Jewish author for that book, Mein Kampf. What movies do I own that star Anne Frank hiding a bunch of Jewish people in gas chambers away from the Nazis? My money's in my Schindler's List DVD case. I watched that drunk, but I'm pretty sure I paid attention. If I was to start smoking meth, I would change my name from Matthew to Matthew. I've noticed one thing that all meth addicts have in common. They like to decorate their room with this pink or purple fluorescent lights that they hang up. That's like the bad call for meth addicts. And they twitch a lot, so if you ever come across one that's overdosing, skip on the hospital bill and rush them to the black light section in the back of the Spencers. When I first moved to Virginia Beach, my roommate at the time was a meth addict. He would always yell and scream at me for no reason at all. I don't know, maybe because he was one tooth short of yesterday. I'll never forget the time that he came home and he brought with him a box of Crest White Strips. And I just laughed at him. I said, "Man, I don't think that's going to fix your problem." He got all pissed off and yelled at me and went to the kitchen and reached in the back of the refrigerator and pulled out a Lunchable and tossed it at me. And it just bounced off my chest and hit the floor. And I didn't eat lunch that day, so I just picked it up and started eating it while I heard him out. I said, "You know what? When you're done with that box of Crest White Strips, whatever you have left over, you think I could have?" And he said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, judging from what I'm seeing, it looks like you're only going to be cleaning about 4 or 5 teeth, so." But, so yeah, speaking of drugs, I hung out with a friend over the weekend, and he actually sells drugs for a living. I pulled up to his house, and he's smoking weed on his front door, and he's always so paranoid and never really leaves his house. But what I find interesting, though, is that he says that he does a lot to get back to the community. He says he's part of the Neighborhood Watch. I said, "Neighborhood Watch? What are you on watch for? The police?" But I finally got him out of the house. We went down the road to check out the psychic. It was a mother and daughter doing readings, and when we got there, their mother was already giving a reading in the house, so we had to do ours out on the front porch. So I let my friend go first, and I sat in the car, but I had to pee really bad, so I asked the daughter if I could go in the house and use the bathroom. And she said not at the moment because her mother was in the middle of giving a reading. So I sat in the car and used the Wawa cup. So when my friend got done with his reading, he came back to the car, and he was all pissed off and angry and said the psychic just told him a bunch of useless information that he already knew, and he could have saved $60. I said, "Well, hopefully my reading goes better." And I started to walk up to the front porch and sit down, and the psychic lays out all the tarot cards, and after a few minutes, she looks at me and says, "I don't know if you realize this, but you've got a very unique and special talent, and I'd like to see you come back for a few more sessions so we can figure this out together." I said, "Oh, all right, well, how much is that going to cost? Because I just paid you $60. And she said, "Oh, no need to worry. It's just a one-time fee of $300. $300? Lady, you're a psychic, not a psychologist. What, are you out of your mind? She practically was, for being a gypsy and all. But she was a hot gypsy. I may have considered that $300 transaction if there was a happy ending. A dick popping out of her bohemian dress. You know, because I'm gay and all. Anyways, she didn't seem too happy for me to turn down her offer and all. And I went back to the car, we drove off, and my friend said, how'd it go? And I said, well, I think I insulted her, but let's just hope she's a psychic and not a witch doctor, because I left my pee cup out on her driveway. Thank you so much, that's my time.